Chinese by blood, Filipino by heart. #Roots is brought to you by Dash Cargo, propelling possibilities. BA Securities, your trading partner in Asia Pacific.
When I think of my life, ang dami kong na-miss. Sometimes I have to skip training. Parang I feel like I need to skip training just to preserve yung mga core memories na nakuha ko from, throughout my life. I still show up kasi it's really important. Hindi siya important 3 months before the competition, 6 months before the competition. It's important every day. Kasi that's how you build your character, your self-discipline, yung self-regulation mo. That's how you build self-control. And then that's how you build future champions. When I first started Wushu, it was because my grandmother, she happened to pass by here sa Taft Avenue and nakita niya yung parang flyers for parang sports clinic. So etong federation na to, they do it. So she saw the flyer by the Philippine Sports Commission. So this is where we are, yung Wushu Federation of the Philippines, which is the headquarters for Wushu in the Philippines. And she decided to enroll me and my brother. I've been doing this sport for about 16 years now, ever since I was 8 years old. And I think most people know that this sport has originated from China. So I think it translates to, yung Chinese by blood, Filipino by heart. Kasi being in this sport, it has also given me the values of being somewhat yung Chinese values ng sport na to, which is discipline, tapos camaraderie, building very good relationships with people, and just building yung confidence ko over the years. So yung sport na to, it has given me the opportunity not only to represent my country, but also to be in tune with who I am, both as a Filipino and also having Chinese blood. Yung belief ng parents ko is, hindi lang dapat mag-aral ka, you have to also have extracurricular. At yung gusto talaga nila is sports kasi yung dad ko, he did sports. Tapos yung lola ko, which is from my dad's side, she is a fan of sports. So she exposed me and my brother to a lot of sports then. So when I was born, yung unang sport ko was swimming. I was 3 years old. So after swimming, I took up ballet. And then I took up ice skating. And then I took up karate. Tapos finally, I took up Wushu. When I turned 12 or 13, I chose Wushu eventually. Not because it was Chinese, but because I love the complexity of the sport and also it was so difficult. Sobrang iba niya from other sports that I've experienced throughout my life that time. So that's why I chose Wushu. Pag sinabi mong Wushu sa ibang tao, usually they make fun of it kasi, diba, it's usually used as an expression for people na parang Wushu, parang ganun. Pero for me, it's much more different than that kasi they don't really realize how difficult the sport is until they've experienced it themselves. Not only watched it, but they have to experience it. So that's what made me fall in love with the sport.
Ang Wushu kasi in our community in Chinatown, in Binondo, there's a lot of traditional Chinese martial arts. Those are Konghan Athletic Club, those are Bengkiam Athletic Club, Hongsing, and these schools are brought by the Chinese immigrant with them. Hindi lang yung kabuhayan nila yung dinala nila dito, pati mga kultura nila. And one of the most important culture that they brought over here is martial arts. Kung Fu is how the West call it, but the Filipino-Chinese or the Chinese in Hokkien, where the Filipino-Chinese came from, they call it Koksut, literally means national art. So they brought it here, they set up school, they taught all the community members of the art.
Pagdating ko ng 13, ni-recruit na ako for the junior national team. To get into the junior national team, you have to be sa top 3 or top 2 ng national competition dito. So yung unang sinalihan ko was yung Philippine National Games. Naalala ko noon, ayoko pa mag-compete noon kasi I was really shy. They had to practically force me to compete. kasi I was so shy. Tapos yun, tuloy-tuloy na siya. Nung first year ko with the junior national team, they also sent me abroad na din.
My father is a practitioner of Chinese martial arts. He's from the school of Konghan Athletic Club. It was set up 1936, I remembered. So, naging tradition siya, naging family tradition din. So, pati sa family ko, naging tradition. From my father, we were brought to the school at the young age of 8, started practicing it as a way of life, and then ngayon, pati mga anak ko nag-martial arts din. Pero that time, ang tinatawag na Wushu is different from the currently practiced na Wushu. At the age of 14, I was able to be selected in the national Wushu team. I started training and competing, representing the Philippines. We were brought to different countries to compete. We were brought to China to train in Beijing for several years. And then after that, after I retired, I became a coach. I assisted the national team as an assistant coach, and then I became a national team coach for 2 years.
I think I got my first taste of like what it's really like to be an athlete. Yung parang what it takes was when I think it was 2012, I was 14 ata. Wala pang junior national team kasi halos lahat ng juniors na athletes namin nasa Baguio. I can't go there kasi I study here. So what the coach did was, pinasabay niya ako sa seniors, right? Kasi yung coach namin, Chinese siya, na kinuha nila from China. And he was known for being really, really strict. Like, meron siyang dalang arnis lagi. First time ko noon, tapos naalala ko pa, 4 to 7 yung first training ko with them. Tapos yung water break namin is once lang. And I asked him, sabi ko, pwede ba ako uminom? Ayaw niya. Tapos, dun ko na-realize, ganito ba talaga kahirap yung training? Dun ako na-mold na parang, that's where my self-discipline kind of was molded at the beginning. Yung training namin right now, since I'm part of the senior team, is twice a day, every day. Monday to Saturday. Sunday yung off day namin. And then in a day, we train 6 to 7 hours. Depende dun sa coach namin. We never go down by 5 hours. So that is with and without competition. When I was first starting to compete internationally, every day I was doubting myself, especially on the day of the competition. So pag nakita mo yung mga kalaban ko, mapapaisip ka talaga, even if you've been training hard, like magkakadalawang isip ka, like, is it really enough? Like, what I did, was it enough? Kahit this year, nung SEA Games, I've still had doubts. Pero I think I've gotten good at maybe regulating it. It never really goes away. I think walang athlete na hindi talaga mawawalan ng doubt ever. They always bring that with them every day. I think it's really about yung grit mo as an athlete. Like, if you think of all the suffering that you've endured for months or years, or you think of what your team has been through for the last 5 years, 10 years, pagdating mo sa competition, nothing can beat you. Kasi I believe na if you let the pressure consume you, and then if you let your anxiety get the best of you, even if you're the best of the best, hindi siya magta-translate dun sa ranks mo, or it won't show in your performance.
Chinese by blood, Filipino by heart. #Roots is brought to you by Landlight, your total lighting solution. Poland Hopia. Chinese General Hospital and Medical Center, exceptional care within reach. AgriPro Premier Nutrition Inc. GAOC. Jimmy C. Chua Beng Tang. Nation Paper Products and Printing Corporation. Japan Parts Trading Center. Alejandro Ko. Global Diesel and GU Engineering. Enrique Chua. Sherwin Choi. Albert Ko. Jersey Haven. Veco Paper. Water Care. PG Flex Linoleum, and Maruyama Tarpaulin. Ford Tractor Philippines, your long-term agriculture partner. Tony D. William Goshaco. Gabby Ang. Chinese by blood, Filipino by heart.
Noong 2018, akala ko hindi na ako makakapag-sports kasi I was gonna graduate college na. Siguro mga a few months before. And then I started feeling this like parang writhing pain sa back ko, sa lower back ko. Hanggang sa one time, I was training, nag-collapse ako, and then I was rushed to the ER. Tapos in-MRI ako, and I was diagnosed with a grade 2 slip disc. Sabi nung isang doctor sa akin, kailangan daw ng surgery. What's difficult kasi in sports is, once they open you up, you know, like once they cut you open, tapos they stitch you back up again, it's harder to get back, lalo na dito sa Wushu. When I heard the word surgery, I knew na, is it still possible to do sports? So yung ginawa ng family ko, kasi ayaw nila ako magpa-surgery, they sought another opinion from a sports doctor. Sabi ng sports doctor, she doesn't need surgery. She just needs to be on pain management. So what that entails is therapy every week, and then he gave me a lot of medication. Hanggang ngayon, meron pa rin akong injury, and there are some exercises na alam ng coach ko, bawal kong gawin kasi if I do it, lalala yung injury ko. And I remember that time, I was so heartbroken kasi it was 2 months before the Asian Games, which is, you know, every 4 years siya. So this will be my second Asian Games. That happened 2018. And I thought, hindi na talaga ako makaka-compete, pero there was a little part of me that believed na kahit na hindi ko kaya, kakayanin ko pa rin. So I went to Asian Games. It was my first Asian Games and I bagged the bronze. And that was a milestone for me kasi not a lot of people knew na I had that injury, and yet naka-medal ako. And ano yun, parang mini milestone yun sa akin kasi parang it symbolizes na kahit na ayaw ng katawan mo, kakayanin pa rin ng puso mo. Expectations, it has grown significantly ever since I won noong 2019. I think it was way better nung the years before that kasi nobody really knew me. Nobody really paid attention dun sa Wushu until I won nung 2019 sa Southeast Asian Games, which was held here in the Philippines. I was quite surprised kasi nung 2017, I also won. Pero you know, wala naman masyadong pumansin dun sa akin, which is okay kasi that means na if you don't get that much attention, walang mag-expect sa'yo. Like, people are not gonna ask, how did you do? How are you gonna do in the next competition? Pero once 2019 ended, nagka-pandemic, nandun pa rin yung expectation, and it silently grew until 2022, hanggang this year, and probably until I retire. So it's a new thing for me, even though it's been 4 or 5 years na since 2019. I've come to terms na with that a long time ago. Nung high school pa lang ako, is willing ko ba i-sacrifice yung social life ko over this sport? And yung answer ko lagi is oo, kasi I'm always gonna get older. Yung sport ko, it will always be there, pero I'm not always gonna be there. And I think nakita yun sa akin ng head coach ko, and I think he really liked that about me, kasi kahit na, let's say I had a bad day in school, kahit na ganun, I would still go kasi wala akong choice eh. It's either I let the bad day control the rest of the day, or ilabas ko na lang sa training. So, I've come to terms with it na right now, even as I train, sobrang konti lang ng social life ko. Like, I've reached this kind of mini milestone in my life. Just a few weeks ago, I went on my very first road trip with friends. But usually you do that like 2021. I'm already 25 and I only did it this year. And it's okay for me. It's okay for me to miss things like this kasi marami pa akong time to build those memories. Pero yung Wushu, it's gonna disappear na in a few years, so. Minsan, in the moments na I'm out with friends, tapos like I realize the things na I missed, I realize the things na I could have, the memories that I could have made, I always question, worth it ba mag-training mamayang gabi or worth it ba mag-training bukas? Worth it ba mag-skip ng outing today just for, like a little recognition internationally for a competition that's months away? And usually, yung sagot ko is, worth it ba talaga? Minsan oo, minsan hindi. Pero madalas, kahit na regardless of what my answer is, I just always go to training.
I'm an athlete during the 90s. The whole of my high school and collegiate life, I am a national athlete. So ang pinakamalaking challenge doon, you have to balance studies and the sports. And it requires 6 hours of daily training, Monday to Saturday. And then you go to school. Hindi siya madali. Marami nag-give up ng sports, marami nag-give up ng school. So, but if you want a better future for yourself, of course, you need to finish your education. That's a very big challenge before. Another challenge is, pag bata ka kasi, of course, you're drawn to parties, the things that the kids do. You're drawn to parties, you're drawn to out-of-town beach. Diba? Baguio, yung mga ganong simpleng kasiyahan ng bata, you have to give it up. Diba? You have to give it up. You don't have a chance to do that. Diba? And it's so painful for us kids not being able to join our classmates or our barkada.
Every time I compete, I always think it's not about winning. Kahit na nakailang medals na ako or nakailang last place ako, every time I compete, it's always for the pride of my country. So, it doesn't mean na kapag you're bringing pride to your country, you have to win. It just means that you came to this level na you're capable of competing with other countries. And for me, that's an achievement na in itself. Kahit na wala kang iuwi from a competition, that says a lot na rin, just by trying. Kasi I think na if you don't try, wala talagang mangyayari. So, for me, every time I compete, yung expectation ko sa sarili ko is, I don't really see myself getting the gold medal. I just see myself, giving a good performance, regardless of if it's good enough for a bronze medal or if it's just good enough for last place. Yung important dun is, I did my best and I represented my country.
Chinese by blood, Filipino by heart. #Roots is brought to you by John Deere, world's #1 tractor brand by Go Tractora. Real Estate Hub. AgriPro, Premier Nutrition Inc. Skylaw. Jimmy C. Chua Beng Teng. Nation Paper Products and Printing Corporation. Japan Parts Trading Center. Alejandro Ko. Global Diesel and GU Engineering. Anson Tan. Enrique Chua. Sherwin Choi. Albert Ko. Jersey Haven. Chan Kwan. Thomas Kua. Philflex Wires and Cables. Ford Tractor Philippines, your long-term agriculture partner. Chen Z Xia. Nang Family. Tony D. William Goshako. Gabby Ang. Chinese by blood, Filipino by heart.
A Chinatown food crawl experience will not be complete without a visit to Poland Hopia. Come, satisfy your cravings and delight your taste buds with their best-selling Hopia. Sir Joseph, take us back to the early years of Poland.
Well, noong 1960, when my mom decided to open up her own store with my help of my father, they opened up in Binondo. So yung Poland is after my mom's name. During those days, we sell hot Hopia. Kami nang gumagawa nun eh. And then we sell it, usually in newsprint lang yon.
What flavors did you start with?
Normally sa mongo at saka baboy.
Oo,
Yun ang pinaka-popular.
Top of mind ang Poland when it comes to Hopia. Sa tingin nyo, what made this happen?
My mom decided to put hot Hopia into boxes. So we have our own identity na sinasabi ng red box. Kami yun.
I am excited na i-bake na yung ating ginawa na Poland Hopia. Let's go!
Well, ito na yun.
Ito na yung ginawa namin na dati.
Yup.
Mainit-init pa. Very creamy yung loob, yung filling. At saka very flaky yung crust niya.
Yes, yes. It's actually our signature. This hopia is actually can be enjoyed by all generations, from young to old.
So Jeff, ano ba yung naging changes in terms of production throughout the years?
Poland actually increases market demand, right? Industrializing through machines. Pero nung panahon na yun, wala kasing eksaktong machine na para dun sa hinahanap namin na gawang kamay. He has to actually design the machine all from start to finish. The quality cannot compromise. Yun yung signature ng Poland, hindi namin pwedeng baguhin.
From the simple and classic flavors, I am now ready to try the new flavors.
I will recommend first the Choco Fudge.
Wow, wow, wow. Tingnan mo naman yung feeling niya. Ito yung nag-viral sa social media, di ba?
Yes, this is it. This product has not been out in the market anywhere. So if you see the poll kanina, di ba napakaganda?
Oh, kasi for kids, matutuwa sila dun sa visual.
Yes, exactly.
Lance, what sets Poland apart from other brands?
First po, yung traditional flaky crust. Then yung shelf life din ng Poland Hopia products. From dati 7 days, now it's 1 month na.
And now, Jeff, what is the future of Poland Hopia?
Poland is all about tradition and innovation, art and food. Kung anong pinamana sa akin, tutuloy pa rin hanggang sa anak ko, and then the legacy will be cemented.
Sir Joseph, Jeff, and Lance, your dedication, hard work is a testament to the continuing
Thank you
legacy
so
of
much.
Poland Hopia. All the best, more power.
Thank you.
Kain pa tayo!
Yeah.
I've come to understand na the higher that you go up, diba, the better you are, mas maraming mapapansin sa flaws mo. So, minsan sa competition, nasa-stress ako, nape-pressure ako. Pero I've gotten used to it na. You know, yung pressure, it has been a constant companion of mine. And I've just learned to live with it. So, ngayon pa lang, I think it's 100 days from the Asian Games. So parang ngayon pa lang, tine-train ko na yung sarili ko how I'm gonna handle it pagdating ng September, which is the month of the Asian Games.
She's very pretty. She has a movie star look. It's a big bonus to the sports. Diba? So, number one, I hope she could have more training, more support, more strategic management team that can manage her so as she can win gold medal. She can become a world champion like many Filipino world champion Wushu that came before her. She has what it takes. Kung magiging maganda ang management sa kanya, she can achieve more golds. Yung ginawa niya sa Southeast Asian Games, she can do it in the world stage repeatedly. She has what it takes. She's really good. But of course, Wushu kasi is a lesser known sports compared to tennis, compared to track and field. For example, ngayon si EJ of Vienna is doing so well. He's all over the paper, he's all over the news kasi more focus kasi ang ang media sa more popular sports like track and field or basketball or tennis, 'di ba? Ang Wushu kasi is lesser known. So it needs more marketing effort din for the whole of the Wushu community or the whole of the Wushu Federation to promote the sports.
I think na-expose din ako sa Chinese culture here. So makikita mo lahat ng coaches ko, they're all Chinese. So I think yung values na nakuha ko from them is to learn how to be humble. You know, it's a big part to be humble dito sa sport na Wushu kasi I've also experienced a lot of people in my life wherein they went too far up, medyo lumaki yung ulo nila. Tapos, you know, like that was the end for them. Also, I think hindi din ako masalita about what I do. So like when I'm out with friends, you won't ever like hear me talk about Wushu or talk about how I'm a med student. Kasi I know like, you know, when you're a med student, that's all you talk about kasi that's what you want to do. Pero I know that that's the last thing people want to hear. So what I do, like yung nakuha ko dito sa pagka, you know, like yung pagka Chinese ko by blood and Filipino by heart is that you always have to look at yourself as someone na gusto mo ba akong kausapin? So like, am I someone you wanna talk to? So, yung ginagawa ko dun is I don't talk about what I do, I don't talk about my achievements. I just let it translate, you know, like sa social media, sa public when I need it to be. I feel like a lot of like majority of my life has consumed, like sports has consumed majority of my life and also med school. So, I believe na siguro mga 20% of my life, I believe na there is always life outside sports and life outside med school. So yun yung balance na sinastrike ko right now, yung fine balance between it. That's the value na I got from my coaches and also my family members. I think no matter what age you are or parang how long you've been doing it, how new you are to the sport, pag merong nagsasabi sa'yo na hindi mo kaya, I believe na you have to put that person back in the background noise. Kasi they're not the main character, like you are the main character. And if you wanna do sports, you have to do it, even if like you're having self-doubts. Yung lagi kong sinasabi sa sarili ko is do it for the plot, you know, because your life is like a movie. If you do something and then you slip, then it's for the plot. And if you do something and then you succeed, then it's the main story. So, lalo na for kids out there that really love this sport or really love to do sports in general, I wholeheartedly support them kasi it really shaped me into who I am today and it really shaped my values as an athlete, as a friend, and as a daughter.
In terms of relationship building, this is really one common Chinese value that we really uphold in because we treat everyone like family here in Primer.
It's not just a family business. Again, to balance the management, what they did is it's also professionalized through merits. So we have a lot of the key positions as well that are being filled through professional talents.
And now it's all about turning that profit into more of a community engagement, like a family.
Chinese by blood, Filipino by heart. #Roots was brought to you by Dash Cargo, propelling possibilities. BA Securities, your trading partner in Asia Pacific.